I spent several hours last week at a friend's house. My friend's name is Andrew, and I did this for two reasons. One, Andrew's just a great guy. He and I have gotten along well ever since we met my junior year of college. The second reason for my visit to Andrew's, there's this gaping hole in my heart. It's a void which can be only filled through live in-person chess. And after Andrew and I were done playing a few games, we turned on YouTube videos to watch Daniel Narodaisky. And I certainly apologize if I mispronounce any grandmasters' names throughout the course of this podcast. It is unprofessional, inexcusable, and I deserve hate comments. Just make sure in those hate comments, you also include your contact information so you and I can get together and schedule a game. Anyway, Daniel was playing back-to-back 3-minute rapids on chess.com while also explaining his thought process behind each move. And I'm not going to be the one to call him on his BS because it sounded like he knew what he was talking about. But I just want to be clear that during this podcast, and especially tonight, my goal is not to impress anyone with my chess knowledge. My goal is simply to prove I am competent enough to hang with some of the best chess players on this planet for one game if they play poorly and I handicap them significantly to level the playing field. And I'm real tired. And though there are some things that I find acceptable to half-ass, for example, I didn't get a ton out of school. I learned more from doing. You could half-ass school, I'd be cool with that. In some cases, depending on the job and manager, I could see half-assing your job. But never, ever should chess be half-assed. So I'm going to play one good 20-minute game, and then I've got a real strict sleep schedule. I got to get to bed. COVID's stressful, got to cope. One 20-minute game, I'm going to be locked in, and you're going to see a different animal when I come back after this short break. I'd like to end this introduction with an example to articulate what you're about to see when I share this screen in a few minutes. Picture a F5 tornado just ripping through a small town, tossing cars to the side like toothpicks. We're talking 300 plus mile an hour winds. This F5 tornado is at the height of its intensity. And then suddenly you just trap that F5 tornado into a bottle, and you store that bottle in a safe, and you let it sit in that safe for 25 long years. Can you imagine the frustration and anger of that tornado just trying to get out of that container? And then suddenly you open that lid and let that tornado out. That's what you're about to see in this video. I was deprived of chess for 25 years. My only regret when it comes to chess, and my only anger or bitterness towards chess, is it deprived me of its healing powers for the first 25 long years of my life. So I'm going to let Mike Stud sing a song to you. My dishes aren't going to do themselves. And I'm going to come back a very different, a little bit meaner person. All these things bottled up, I needed to say to you, tried, but I never knew how. And I've been drinking now. I don't actually drink. But sometimes I play chess on the weekends in hopes my opponents are drunk, and I get some easy wins to boost my rating. All right, I'll be right back. Taking off in a literal
sense, but doing music full time is a little intense. And now I don't know where I'm flying to. I fly and I land and I party just because I'm signed to. Mind you that I did what I was trying to. Now all I do is get with women that I'm blind to. Singing adios to the girl I love most. And these women on the road don't even come close. At the end of the day, I guess I needed you. Wanted it all, but couldn't have my cake and eat it too. Never told you anything that you needed to know. And it seemed that the best bet was for me just to go. But what I say if me and you could have a night alone? But for now, I'ma tell it to this microphone. All these days piled up, I needed to say that you was right, but I never grew up. Yeah, what I've been drinking all night, and I think I'm on one, so I might as well do it now. Cause I don't wanna bottle it up, hey yeah, bottle it up, hey yeah, bottle it up, hey yeah, we gon' move it out tonight, oh yeah, yeah, bottle it up. We don't stop forming the bottles till the bottoms are up. And we don't have a chaser here to follow it up. Cause we like the way the honesty burns. So we turn the lights low when we took shots. Y'all don't got that good blood. Y'all need to invest in better trees. Woodstock. Cause tonight we getting faded like it's 69. So I tell you everything that you bottled up inside. We build clocks, print calendars, and predict the weather. But when we start to sip, we never think this shit together. I just wanna sit next to you to confess to you. I could write a book with all the things I never said to you. Why it all when I make it fat? Cause if you wear a hardcover, you'll never make any paperback. Look you in the eyes when I state a fact. So when I finally say it, I will never take it back. These days piled up, I needed to say to you, try, but I never knew how. But I've been drinking all night, and I think I'm on one, so I might as well do it now. Cause I don't wanna bottle it up, hey yeah, bottle it up, hey go, bottle it up, hey yeah, we gon' pour it out tonight, oh yeah, yeah, they know,
Quiet down, Mike.
I think they know, they know.
I'm not sure if I mentioned this or not yet. Um, I plan to live stream tonight, but apparently I'm already on YouTube's bad list for some type of copyright claim. I'm sure it'll blow over. And if it doesn't, there's no way whatever repercussions could be worth interrupting my chess practice. And they want like some crazy amount of hours before I start getting any type of like payment from YouTube, which is not my goal anyway. I'm not out for money. I'm just out for spreading the word for chess and hoping that others find happiness in it the way I have. But that's why I've got to include breaks like that, doing dishes, stuff like that. Y'all don't have to watch it, but it counts towards my hours, whether I'm sitting here talking, playing, or out walking my dog. All right, let's play this game. All right, share screen. Okay, there we go. All right, I usually just try to go with like 2 key focus points for the game. Now that I've gotten to a level where I can't just show up and expect my opponent to hand me the game, I actually have to earn wins pretty much every time. As you can see right now, I'm rated 1092. And it's frustrated me a little bit because I used to enjoy playing chess at my family's houses, but now if I'm distracted or doing any type of multitasking at all, I just get absolutely humiliated, and that's not a good feeling. So I'm going to soundproof snap cab from what is it? It's a steel case product, but the dealer is called Scott Rice here in Springfield, Missouri, and they came and delivered it because, you know, my chess plateau and my skill set improving is certainly never my fault, which is why I blame the world and the noise outside, and I had to buy this soundproof phone booth so that I could really lock in on my chess game. All right, 2 focus points for the game. Let's go. Control center early. Recognize forking opportunities. Here we go. Man, I need some music. I need some Beethoven. I usually don't listen to music with lyrics while I'm playing. Just any risk of distractions is unacceptable. As you can see, I've got some very, very good song choices, but this is usually what I go to during the actual game. All right, thank you. Okay, so we got a Canadian here. Gosh darn it, I need YouTube Plus, but I'm broke. Stupid ads. I love Canadian people. I got to work with several of them in my previous job, but on chess.com, they're certainly not my friends anymore. Okay, interesting opening. Misi's opening. I'm not going to pretend I know what that is. I just know that I find it odd. He did not attack the center a little bit harder. Another one of my focus points recently is really overemphasizing getting an early castle in, because there's no worse feeling than having a great attack or a strong opening, and then your opponent makes a very clever move and you realize that you did not castle. It's really one of the sadder feelings I've experienced in life. Kind of like I played baseball, though I didn't really love it. I really did it more because I enjoyed my coaches and friends, and I didn't want to let them down. But one of the sayings, all right, one of the sayings that I always heard in baseball was, especially in playoffs, you don't want to leave your best pitcher unused. So if it's a 3-game series, for example, you wouldn't want to save your ace and then lose the first 2 games or the first game and not even have a chance to let your best pitcher pitch. And I see both sides, you know. Sometimes you want to save your best pitcher so that when the other team throws their best pitcher, you know, you got a better chance. But also, what's going on here? But also, just like with castling, it's a miserable feeling to have something as important as castling and then not use it. So if you want to form a habit, I found you've got to really over exaggerate it until it becomes one. And sometimes I cast a little too early, but it's better than leaving it and never castling at all. So okay. So what I really don't love is him getting to that square right there. So what we're gonna do. Right there. It's really an odd opening approach on his part, but I'm not really skilled enough to exploit it to the level I'd like. I just know that it's not, wasn't brilliantly laid out by him. Okay. I'm also learning there's no, or at least not that I've heard of, a standard way to decide when the opening ends and the middle game begins. But a general rule of thumb that I've learned, at least for my intermediate level purposes, is once you've castled, that's kind of the transition to the middle game. And that's where my creativity really gets an opportunity to shine, open by the book, middle game, more creative art, really a chance to show off a little bit. And then the end game, you got to flip to that machine mindset and really just be a different, sometimes meaner person, which is okay in chess, And in life too, you got to be a little mean sometimes, or you don't get anywhere. You don't want to be hateful to the point where you get a reputation as someone that no one wants to hang out with, but being an asshole is a good thing every now and then, on the chessboard especially. Okay, what did he just do? Took my pawn. Okay. I don't really understand. So I can use my bishop to take his pawn. Otherwise, I'm losing the bishop. Can't do that. Or I can use my queen. If I use my queen, it's not in jeopardy. So why wouldn't I? Okay, and then he would have to defend his knight on g5 from my queen somehow. And if he moves his knight, he doesn't have options to move his knight except for backwards. And then if he takes his knight there, he's hosed. Takes his knight there, he's hosed. Although I can't castle, that's okay to win a knight. Takes it there. Then my queen would be on, what is that? F5 at that point, and he would then lose his knight to my queen. So he won't do that. He could take my pawn, which would be a valid approach. And then, screw it. All right, let's do it. My concern is he's going to take my pawn on, I guess, e4. And then, of course, I'm not going to attack his knight and lose my queen to his pawn, which would then attack my queen on e4. So we'll see what he does here. If I'm not under any serious pressure to defend my key pieces, I'm probably going to castle. Yeah. Okay. So he goes there. I've got it defended. I wouldn't love if he goes there. That would kind of suck for me right now. Let's see what we got here. Really I just don't love him getting access to that square with his knight right now, because if his knight takes, what is that, c5, my only attacking option is with my queen, and then his bishop's going to take my queen, and I basically get a knight in exchange for my queen. I don't want to do that. I'd like to get that pawn slid up. That way my bishop can attack, but then if I slide that up, then his bishop's coming down to my bishop, and of course I could backtrack and bring my queen down if his bishop gets access to that f8 square, but I don't. Let's do it. That's what we're doing. Ideally, he would take my bishop. I backtrack with my queen. If not, I've got the option of attacking his bishop with mine. His knight will then capture my bishop there. And no one really gains an edge or loses one. Oh, you guys might like this. I might have something cooking up here, guys. Really working on anticipating a few moves in advance. I'm a big fan of living for the moment. Sometimes that actually gets me in trouble, including in chess and in life, but I think I've got something here. You'll see. You'll see. I'm not going to spoil it. Come on now, let's go. Accept your fate. Let's go. Don't have all night. Got to get 8 hours of sleep. It's the only way to grow consistently in my chess performance is to be well rested, and you're ruining it right now. You're just going to be more miserable after. I like to think of my chess game kind of like an anaconda in a way. You know, the more my victim struggles, the more painful the death will be. When I started that joke, I expected it to be really goofy when it came out, but that actually sounded a little bit intimidating, and I'm very proud of that joke. Okay. Yeah, he ruined my plan there. See, what I was thinking is I was hoping possibly his bishop wouldn't attack down actually after second thought, and then I would take my bishop down or up to his bishop. My bishop would then be on a3. Then you got enemy knight coming from there to attack my bishop. Then my queen's going to slide over to a5, forcing check. And then I guess he'd either defend with his queen or his knight. And then I'm going straight for that bishop there since he has to defend the check. And then I just won a king, or I won a knight, sorry. But he didn't fall for my trap. It's all right. Sometimes I don't. Not a quitter. Do better next time. Okay, that's fine. Better castle. Really better castle. But man, I got some ideas cooking. I don't want a castle. You got to do it. Get a castle. Okay. Makes total sense. Oh, that rook is looking real good in the corner. Surely at this level, I mean, 959 is not super high, but yeah. Okay, that was silly. If you really want to lose a queen, you certainly can. I'm not going to tell you no. Now you can't castle either. Have fun. All right, here we go. Close this out. Let's go. It's got to really doing it on time. That pawn on e6 with the bishop attacking is risky. I can move my knight in a position where it can then defend that pawn. Now let's do this. Let's force check. Okay. Now what are you going to do, bud? Yeah, that's smart. Trying to trap that bishop any way I possibly can here. Okay. Still got that pawn protected. We're in good shape. Okay. Smart move. See, because now I was wanting to advance that pawn to, what is that? E, F, G. I want to advance this pawn to G4. Force that bishop to either back away or attack, and then I'm getting a bishop for a pawn basically, because if that bishop would have gone to there to get my pawn, then my knight's of course attacking. But he handled that well. I don't see any harm in this move right here. Taking my queen to DE5. I'm going at that rook in the corner, or at least forcing him to defend it. And that's half the battle at my level is I'm not going to set the world on fire. But sometimes, even if you just make your opponent think, that's ball game. All right, here we go. What are you going to do with that rook, bud? What are you going to do? What's the call? Let's go. I better use my time a little better. Anything worthwhile in life was probably accomplished through struggle and a lot of long hours, but chess doesn't always offer us that luxury, and you got to be quick about it. They say you can't rush perfection, you can't rush greatness. That's why if I ever play Magnus Carlsen, he's going to be on a real short clock. Smart move, bud. Real smart about this move. I'm looking at fork opportunities, man, and you fell right for it. Goodness gracious. Idiot. If TNT 2021 is ever a subscriber, I apologize for any mean comments at his expense. But chess is not a friendly game. It's war, dare I say at times even a battle. Okay. Yeah, dude, get your knight out of here, man. I don't want to see that. Can't you see I'm trying to put you away right now? Gosh, I don't want to leave that pawn hanging. It's a good move there. It's a very good move. A fair question would be, am I worried that some of the better chess players are going to, good movement, are going to get access to my game film and learn my weaknesses? That's a valid concern. I would rather not let my opponents in on my secrets, but my logic is that most grandmasters probably have better things to do with their time than to analyze my game. So that's kind of my thought process, is that they just won't. Let's defend that pawn there a little bit better. There we go. And my logic, of course, too, is just that, you know, if you're confident enough in your game plan and your execution, then it doesn't really matter if they know what's coming. And I certainly am confident in my game plan and execution. All right, here we go. What do we got? Yep. I don't understand that move. He's probably going to take his knight to E5. That way I can't backtrack and take my queen to, what is that, c4 and force a check. Yep, that works too, I guess. God, you a-hole. Okay, that's fine. Now your knight's trapped, idiot. I'm not following you here, man. I'm just not. Okay. Why? You're not going to attack my pawn because my king's going to take your knight or your rook. Okay. Close this out. Let's go. You're tired. It's been a long week for sure. Stressful. But it wouldn't do any good to worry about that during this chess game. Come on, let's go. You're just procrastinating. Get it over with. Let's go. Got stuff to do. Not really. I don't have anywhere to go. I'm real bored. Okay. That's fine. I should have made that move anyway. Thanks for reminding me. You left your pawn hanging for several moves and I missed it. Did me a favor by moving that pawn up and attacking my knight. Okay. Beethoven is so peaceful. I was playing basketball the other day at a park, and there were a few kids that looked like they were, um, 16 or 17, and they were listening to the most just vulgar music, and it gave me no hope for the future leaders of our society. If I would have listened to that music, my mom would have slapped me. But I hope she's proud because now all I do is play chess, and that's certainly more positive. Okay. Let's just control center here. I'm just going to show off a little bit here. I'm not real sure I understand the logic of this upcoming sequence, but I know it's going to be awesome. Okay. What's the call, bud? What's the call? You gonna take the knight? You're gonna move your king. Either way, you're toast. Oh, no, you're not, because your stupid knight's now protecting. Gosh darn it. That sucks. It's really closed out with a fork here of some sort. I can't picture it yet, but my chess senses are telling me there's a fork opportunity coming up very soon. All right. Okay. Okay, get a little bit extra protection on that D3 square. Okay. All right, just use your time well. Come on, you're destroying him. Only way he gets back in this game is through some sort of time mismanagement. We'll trade rooks, sure. If you want to trade rooks when you're getting hosed, I'll take that deal every day. Here we go. Put him away. Yep, that's fine. Oh, my queen's exposed now, though. Crap. That's all right. We'll get another one. That was a terrible decision. I'll let you back in the game, and you said no thank you. Okay. You guys might be about to witness the only for sure in-game approach and technique that I possess in my toolkit right now, which is to disregard everything except for promoting a pawn to a queen and using queen and king versus enemy king and just back them down slowly. It's effective. It's a little annoying, but it certainly gets the job done without fail. It's fine. The knight, I think for most beginners is probably true, but the knight is definitely the weakest point in my game in terms of defending enemy attacks. So many darn possibilities with the knight. Can't predict it. That's fine. That's a good move. It's going to be super pretty. But I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to impress people. I'm here to get wins. That's what you're about to see right here. You got to trade nights. You don't have a choice, man. It's either that or you're losing the night for free. Thank you. There will be no draws in this chess laboratory tonight. Not having it. No stalemate. I hate this stalemate rule. It's so stupid. A stalemate is basically saying, hey, I know that I just got my ass kicked, but I'll take a draw anyway. It's cowardly. But I didn't make the rules. I just played by them. Okay, here we go. Okay, right now. Okay, your only move is to that green square. Two, three. Okay. Take the pawn. Good boy. All right. All right, here's the endgame technique. This is textbook right here, what you're about to see. Not fancy, but 100% for sure effective. Come on now, let's go. Dude, you're done. You are done, even with 110. Gosh. Don't fight it. Believe me, I don't want to make it painful. I'm sure you're a great person, but this is not where you go to make friends. It's just that simple. Here we go. Check this out. Any grandmasters watching, you're going to love this. Line them up. Line them up. Come on, man. You know you're done. You're just delaying the inevitable. Let's go. Come on. I smell blood here. And now we've got that knights, you know, that 2 and 1 square. So we're going to do a passing move here. All right, there you go. Just going to back you down, bud. You can resign. Save us both time. Come on. Come on. All right. You're going to play it out. I kind of respect it, but at the same time, it's a little bit annoying that I have to play this out when you're done. It's okay. Failure makes you stronger. Come on. Okay. Have you not realized what's happening to you by now, man? Do you think I'm going to slip up here? Idiot. I could be drunk with my dog barking in the background, and I don't do drugs, but even if I were on some crazy hallucinogens, which I've never done, but I've heard they're not always pleasant, I'd still close this game out, man. Come on. What are you doing? Okay. Come on. Come on. All right, the back one more, please. Line them up. Here we go. Have you not learned the pattern by now, man? I've been doing it for like 5 minutes. Good game. Goodness, made that slow. All right, it's Friday night, and I know I'm dressed well, but it's more of the look good, play good mentality. I'm not going on a date. I'm not going to family dinner or anything. And if I were, I wouldn't be this serious. Chess is my number one right now. I certainly hope it is for anyone out there watching. See y'all next week.